Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Jim Sinicropi inside the FingerLace1.com studios along with Kevin Korzeniewski. And the road to the big house begins today when we announce our 25-game live webcast schedule here on FL1 Sports. Last year we took it all the way into March with the Lions heading to Glens Falls. And Korzy, who knows what's on tap this year?
Yeah, you never know. It's a brand new season. Everybody kicked off on Monday, so there's a lot of hopes and a lot of local high school basketball arenas, and looking forward to it.
Well, before we get to the schedule, and this is the first time it's been revealed, right now nobody knows what gyms we're going to be in, what games we're doing, but in just a few minutes we're going to give our whole schedule, which includes 25 games, 18 locations starting November 28th at New York Chiropractic College. But before we get to that, I want to thank our sponsors this year who have come on board. Generations Bank for the fourth straight year is our title sponsor, and without their support as title sponsor, we wouldn't be able to do any of this, nor would we be able to do it without the help of Dr. Rod Littlejohn, who's coming back for a second year, also sponsoring the Dr. Rod Littlejohn Smiles with Style post-game. Finger Lakes Community College coming on board this year as a lead sponsor. We're glad to have them. It's a perfect fit as we're out in high school gyms in front of high school kids and their families. So I'm really happy to have Finger Lakes Community College on board as a lead sponsor. And then also Thompson Health is back this year, Finger Lakes Partners Insurance, Red's Place, Penny's Place, the Omen Theater, and Jimmer's Auto, and also coming on this year Ferrara Lumber in Seneca Falls, as well as Finger Lakes Construction in Newark. So thanks to all the sponsors. Again, this is a pretty extensive schedule, and we wouldn't even be able to think about it if it wasn't for the sponsor support.
Right, so if you're a fan at home and you're a kid at home and you're watching and you're trying to figure out if your game's going to be on, your game's only going to be on because of these great sponsors. You know, without the sponsors, we couldn't do it.
Absolutely true. So, hey, let's get right to it. November 28th, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, a quadruple header. Session 1 of the quadruple header features the South Seneca Falcons against the Southern Cuba Chiefs in the first game, tipping off at 1 o'clock. And then at 3 o'clock, we follow that up with Geneva and North Rose Wolcott. That first session has Harold Weber, Matt Verkey, and Mike Alessio in the booth. And Korzy, you know one of my favorite players in the league is the great emancipator, Lincoln Lowe, in that first game. The Falcons, the Battle of the South Schools.
Lincoln is like one of those players that you watch in college and say, "Does this kid graduated yet?" You know, he just seems to have been around so long. So, South Seneca will be back with Lincoln and Devin Rogers. Losing their point guard will hurt them a little bit, but we expect South Seneca to be in the top half of the Finger Lakes West.
And then the second half of our first session is a great game. You got Geneva Panthers, Class A school, going up against North Rose Wolcott, Class B school in Wayne County. Finger Lakes East versus Wayne County. And North Rose Wolcott took it all the way to the big house last year. They lose their big man Jake Stevenson, but they return Tyler. It's early in the year.
It is early.
Garrett Hoyt, the
Garrett
power
Hoyt,
forward,
yeah.
And
there is a Tyler on that team.
Tyler Stevenson.
Tyler Stevenson.
The center's name, was he Jake Stevenson?
It could have been, yeah.
Well, hey, we're rusty.
We'll have to get a hold of Coach Hoyt and try and figure out that roster before we get going.
But that's a great game early
Yeah,
on.
early on, afternoon session, and Geneva's had a rough year last year, and they really tried to play an up-tempo style of game. So if they're still trying to do that this year, it'll be interesting to see that, whether North Rose tries to run up and down with them, kind of like Naples did last year. They would run up and down with anybody. It didn't matter who they're playing. So real interested to see that matchup. I'm sure North Rose, going to play a bigger school in a different league is going to be pumped for that game. So that's a great game to start off with.
And the great confines of the New York State Chiropractic College where Brett Taccone, the facilities manager there, health and fitness director there, along with the facilities manager, Jimmy Millis, have the place all decked out.
It's good. If you haven't played there and you're going down there or you're watching this, expect a couple extra treats. It's a big time atmosphere. It's a big time event. And, Rhett does a real good job of getting name tags out and Gatorades for the kids. And I was so impressed last year with how he treated those teams and players. So those kids should be excited to go down there.
You got a lot of calls this year. Teams wanted to get in. And last year it was 3 games. This year it's 4. So let's go to the afternoon or the evening session now. We'll be calling you and I will be calling this with Brad Connor. These two games. The first game, Lions against Mid Lakes, which is interesting because one of Lions starters from last year's state Final Four team, Carswell, transferred to Mid Lakes.
Yep.
So that'll add another layer to that as Pete Zirkus' Screaming Eagles are trying to make an early some noise early here in what's going to be a really tough Finger Lakes East.
Yeah, Mid Lakes has been down towards the bottom of the East the past few years, and Coach Zirkus will, I'm sure, take a fine player like Carswell into his program, and hopefully that'll help Mid Lakes.
And Kenny
have a stronger
DeVay
season.
coming back for Mid Lakes, and then of course Lions loses Damon Hunter, but they're going to be starting a freshman point guard that we'll be getting our first look at.
What's the season going to be like if we can't call Tippy Hunter's name out?
I know he really was a big storyline last year,
Especially
but
towards the end of the year.
Yeah, new guys will step up this year, and the nightcap of session 2 at the Chiropractic College features Minders against Clyde, and Minders is one of those teams that we're expecting to contend for the Finger Lakes East, and Clyde, 2 years removed now from their sectional championship with Cam DeSanto and Joe Main Bogan and Joey Faniel. They have a young point guard as well, Derek Chance, who's a sophomore this year, and it's going to be interesting to see how Clyde fares in Wayne County this year. And we get to check them out against Minders.
Yeah, I like to see Clyde early. I think they're going to be a team to watch in Wayne County. I think they're going to be young but exciting. And Minders, again, like you said, we expect big things out of them. A lot of returning players. They do lose a couple key backcourt players in Kerher and Anderson. But they're going to bring kids in. They're going to replace them. And they're very formidable up front. A lot of big kids inside.
Yeah, deep at guard, deep at forward for Nick Ciotti's Blue Devils. So after we kick it off on that Saturday, we're going to take a little rest after doing 4 games, but it won't be long. We'll be back on Tuesday night. Lots of Tuesday night games this year. Tuesday night basketball on FL1 Sports. We're heading to the Atwood Gymnasium for Red Creek against Lions. Jake Slobe's gone from Red Creek, and so is Griffin Klein, one of the Klein brothers. The other Klein brother's back. I think Nick's back. And they also have a good big man in Red Creek, and it's going to really be interesting to see kind of how things are stacking up in Wayne County with these two teams who were right near the top. Red Creek won the league, but Lions, of course, went on to postseason glory. So it's always great to be inside the Atwood. That'll be Dave Barnick and Matt Verke on the call for that one. And then a following week, it's Tuesday, December 8th. It's going to be Penn Yan at Newark. Brendan Harrington and Tony Robinson on the call. A lot of people say Newark is down a little bit this year, Corsi, after losing Collins and Shamar Logans, but
I'm not one of them.
Yeah,
I think Newark is going to be right there with Minders in the Finger Lakes East, and they got a young backcourt, but it's a talented backcourt. They've got good shooters. I think you'll see some kids rise up in the without Collins there. We really enjoyed another kid we loved calling for the last 3-4 years is Collins. We'll miss him, but I think Newark's really going to reload, and they're going to be, again, formidable inside as well. So I look for Minders and Newark to really compete for that Finger Lakes East, and Coach Averilla is bringing back, they don't rebuild over there.
That's right. Penn Yan, also fun to watch. A lot of really stud lacrosse players who kind of play basketball with that lacrosse mentality, and they lost the Covert brothers, but they return Austin Finger, Sean Emerson, and they'll be fun to watch. That should be a great early season game.
Just a team that brings back a lot of good athletes. Waterloo and Penn Yan to me are interesting in the East because they have good athletes that will get up and down and compete. So those two teams I think will be knocking on the door trying to compete with Minders and Newark.
There's not a night off in the East this year. I don't think there's any.
Not too many years there is, really.
Yeah, true.
If you ask the coaches, anyway.
So then we're going the very next night on Wednesday, December 9th to Geneva for a boys-girls doubleheader as the Minders Blue Devils face the Geneva Panthers. Girls game at 6, boys at 7:30. Dave Barnick and Corsi on the call for that one. And we did our first game in Geneva last year, and I really kind of like it up there. We're up in the weight room, and it's a nice, tight atmosphere, an old gym.
Yeah, Geneva's an old, dark gym, and they got a good home court. We're first talking about the girls for the first time. 2 teams last year that had a lot of success in Geneva and Minders, and both teams losing a little bit, but bringing some back too. So as far as the girls slate goes, that's another great game to start off their season with.
Then on Tuesday, December 15th, it's back to Newark where we're going to see Damian Wright and the Palmac Red Raiders taking on Newark. Brendan Harrington, Tanya Robinson on the call there. And the last thing I remember about Pal Mac was Damian Wright hitting the shot of the year last year on Finger Lakes 1 Sports to send the game into overtime in Waterloo.
In Waterloo, what a game that was. And that's a team I've talked about Waterloo and Penn Yan. We've talked about Miners Newark. Pal Mac could win that league as well.
Easily. They be the favorites.
They've got
Nor, Hunter Vandeveld.
Yeah, like you said, right? They've got
Sutberry.
Inside. So Pal Mac's bringing a lot back as well. So don't count them out. They're right in the mix of things.
2 days later, Thursday, December 17th, it's another game at the Atwood. The North Rose Wolcott Cougars coming to the Atwood for a Wayne County battle. You and I will be there for that one, and I love this North Rose Wolcott team. I also love watching Zach Young coach for Lions, so it's going to be interesting to see how Zach can make adjustments with a different team this year.
Yeah.
And it's in that game they're going to be going against a well-established North Rose Wolcott team
with another great coach. That's Brian Hoyt's done a great job in North Rose over the years, and sometimes in a school like North Rose, where unlike Newark, where they just kind of bring some more kids out, North Rose has to rebuild, and this is the type of year North Rose has kind of been waiting for, and looking forward to that matchup between Coach Young and Coach Hoyt. That should be a great evening for Wayne County.
So after that game on the 17th of December, we're going to take about 12 days off, enjoy the holidays before we come back on Tuesday, December 29th, as Clyde visits Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium in Seneca Falls to face Minders, a rematch of one of the games that we have at the college, and that'll be Dave Barnick and Matt Verkey on the call. And then heading forward into 2016, on Saturday, January 2nd, we'll be doing our first game of the year from Waterloo High School as another boys-girls doubleheader with the Soda Spartans on Finger Lakes 1 for the first time against Waterloo, and another girl-boy doubleheader. And it's our first look at Waterloo, and they may have as much talent as anybody in all the Wayne Finger Lakes, but I don't think that many people are picking them to win the Finger Lakes East yet because they want to see this team put it together. New coach, too, in Waterloo.
Yeah, Kevin Dinan takes over the reins in Waterloo. So it's a first-year coach, and he's had some experience at the JV level, so it's not his first time around. But they have Ben Deming inside.
Yeah,
and
he might be the best player.
Yeah, he might be the best player in the league. And then they got a great backcourt to complement that. So, can those kids get chemistry? That's the key to Waterloo. If they play together and they work as well as a team, and that's really going to be on Coach Dinan. There's a lot of pressure on him in his first year, and that team has struggled to have chemistry over the years. So if they can put that together, Waterloo could also make a lot of noise in the Finger Lakes East.
And that's like our third or fourth Wayne County Finger Lakes East crossover, and that's a lot of fun to see that. A lot of times you go decades without some of these teams facing each other, even though we're a stone's throw away. So that's good to see, and excited to have the Soda Spartans on FL1 Sports this year. Then on Wednesday, January 6th, it's down to the Jack Guinan Arena in Ovid, New York, where it's the Naples Big Green, last year undefeated regular season, taking on the South Seneca Falcons. And Naples loses Gordon, one of your favorite. I think he's probably your favorite player last year.
I love that Naples team.
And Isaiah Tilley. But they bring back Andrew Fleischman and another legendary coach, and it's going to be interesting to see how Naples rebounds from they were undefeated in the regular season and then lost in a game we called in Bloomfield in the sectional semifinals to Wheatland. No,
Wheatland Chile lost to Lions that
RCMCS.
night. RCMCS right. Beat Naples, and it could have went either way. It was a great game, and I like Naples. Fleischman can shoot the three. They got another three-point shooter that Rohrbeck, or I think it was Rohrbeck. I think his name was, or I might be confusing him with another school. But they had a couple good shooters, and then the sophomore comes back. He was one of their.
Yeah, his name starts with a T.
Yeah, he was. He was very good, and I expect really big things out of him the next 2 years. He was young last year, but he played real well at the end of the season. Last year we went down to South Seneca, did the same game, and if you remember, Coach brought in the second string to start the third quarter, and they looked good. So, Naples will be right back up there, contending in the West. And like we said earlier, we hope South Seneca does as well.
And that'll be Brendan Harrington and Korzy on the call. And that one, and then 2 days later on Friday night, January 8th, it's another boys-girls doubleheader as the Minders Blue Devils invade Waterloo to take on the Indians. Harold Weber, Matt Verkey, Mike Alessio on the call. And we love the boys-girls doubleheaders, and that's a crosstown rivalry game, Corsi, that we look forward to every year.
Yeah, this game, has kind of become a staple for us. Minders Waterloo. The kids really enjoy it. We're bringing that back later in the season, which you'll announce. But, it should Waterloo's got a new coach, and Tim Lincoln came back from his hiatus of basketball, so he will be coaching the girls varsity team. And, Coach Anderson and looks to bring back probably a little bit better team in that situation. We'll see what Coach Lincoln can drum up. And then,
of course, the Blue Devils is defending sectional champs, and there's no reason to think they can't do it again.
Nope.
So we'll look forward to that one. Thursday, January 4th, it's a little something different. Heading to a new location for us. We're going to North Rose Wolcott as Red Creek plays North Rose. We just got done talking about the Minders Waterloo rivalry. I'm told that this is a rivalry on par with Lions Clyde. It's like one of the biggest rivalries maybe that nobody knows about.
Yeah, I would say that nobody knows about, but
both teams being good the past couple of years, it's just going to be kicked up a lot, and I really can't wait to see the atmosphere in that gymnasium.
Yeah, first time in North Rose, Finger Lakes won.
Yeah, and that's Harold Weber, Michael Alessio, and Spencer Malone on the call. Spencer Malone, he's a AAU coach up in Red Creek area, the Ontario Storm, and he's going to be coming on our team, helping us with a couple of games. He's going to be in the booth for that one, going to appear on the Upstate Hoops podcast when we need some inside information from up there in northeastern Wayne County.
It's good to have.
So we head then to Tuesday, January 9th, another Tuesday night game. It's Minders at Newark. Brendan Harrington, Matt Verkey on the call. This game could decide the Finger Lakes East Championship, and it's always exciting. We were up there last year, and it was kind of like a measuring stick game for Minders, and Newark kind of blew them right off the court early. So Minders will have a little revenge on their mind there.
Yeah, January 19th. That means there's 3 weeks left in the season, and the teams will have a lot of league games logged, and that could be a key game.
Then on Saturday, January 23rd, we got a 6 o'clock start for something that's a little bit of an oddity, although I don't believe it should be, but we have Minders traveling to the Atwood Gymnasium to face Lions, another FL East Wayne County crossover. You and I will have the call on that one, and I love the Atwood, and we, of course, being here in Seneca Falls, are fond of Minders, and that is going to be great to see the Blue Devils up there at the Atwood.
Yeah, it's great for Coach Ciotti to bring his team up to Lions because really at that point in the season, I think Minders should have a better record. Minders should be a little bit favored. But you go into the Atwood, it's a tough atmosphere. Lions plays good at home. Coach Young will have his kids ready to play. The crowd will have Lions support. So it's a very tough atmosphere getting ready to sectionals. So I give Minders a lot of credit for going up there, and really looking forward to that one late in the season.
Thursday, January 28th. I think this might be our only Thursday night game of the whole. So I know we have another Thursday one earlier, but we have 2 Thursday night games. And the second Thursday night game back at Jack Guinan Arena as Bloomfield's coming to face South Seneca. This is our first look at Bloomfield on FL1 Sports. We were in their gymnasium for the postseason last year, but they weren't playing. So we have, you'll be calling that game with the Web Dog. It's Bloomfield and South Seneca.
Yeah,
FL
the Bombers, another team that's going to make its introduction to FL1 this year. And, that Jack Guinan Arena is a great facility down there.
Best concession stand in the main Finger Lakes.
Best concession stand for sure. So I'm interested to look at Bloomfield and give them a call this year. So excited about that. Coach Josh Maston.
Yep.
He was a big help to us during sectional play.
He was also the AD, I think.
Yes,
right?
Correct.
And then Saturday, January 30th, we know the 2 teams that are going to be playing, but I guess the location is up for grabs. They might swap it. We have it at the Atwood, but it might end up being at Clyde. We're fine either way. We'll be there. It's Lions versus Clyde, and one of our favorite games every year to broadcast. It'll be myself and Matt Verkey on the call for that one. And this year, it's tough to say. It's tough to say how that Wayne County. I just feel like North Rose Wolcott's so strong at the top that I feel like everybody else is playing for second or third. But
man, you can't forget about East Rochester. They're always knocking on that door as well. But that'll be doesn't matter what those records are that night.
Yep.
It really doesn't matter what's going on. Should be a great game.
And then Tuesday, February 2nd, Brendan Harrington and Tani Robinson will be in Waterloo as Pelmac visits Waterloo. In a game with major Finger Lakes East implications. And then moving ahead 3 days later to Friday, February 5th, we revisit that Minders Waterloo girls-boys doubleheader rivalry night, this time at Arthur L. Baker in Seneca Falls. It'll be Dave Barnick yourself and Matt Verkey on the call for that one. Should be a lot of fun. And then we end our season, Korzy, with Geneva at Waterloo. Dave Barnick and Michael Alessio on the call on Tuesday, February 9th. And that is 25 games over 18 locations. And then we'll worry about the postseason.
It's 4 months away. That's one thing about basketball. It's not a short season. So, you look at the schedule is announced, a lot of locations, a lot of games. We'll have a lot of fun, but it's a long season. And then you get to the end, and we'll see what we can do and how the local teams do really dictate our schedule.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to, like last year, we didn't know what Damon Hunter was going to do, and we didn't know how the North Rose Cougars were going to step up. And big question was, could Red Creek, a school traditionally not very strong in basketball, win their first Wayne County title ever? And they did.
Naples we knew was going to be good, but to have the season that they did. And I remember sitting in the New York Chiropractic College almost a year ago watching Damon Hunter, and we raised the questions right away. Can he lead the team? Can he behave himself? Can he really put this team on the back like the Lions fans and community wants to? And that was a question mark in November. And it turned out to be the case that he could, and he did.
Yeah, he sure did.
There's a lot of unknowns, but there's a lot of excitement and across, gyms all across the country, really, at all levels. And so there's just a lot of unknowns, and, Finger Licks one will help tackle those unknowns as the season goes on.
Yeah, not only with these live webcasts, but the Upstate Hoops podcast, which this year, some weeks it'll be in the morning, some weeks it'll be at night on Sundays, depending on our schedules and the schedules of some of the guests that we want to have in. But we're going to kick that off a week from this coming Sunday, which would be the 22nd, and it's going to be a morning show. Check the FingerLakes1.com homepage for the exact time. Right now it's looking at like about 10 o'clock a.m., and that'll be our big season preview show. Maybe get as many guys up here as we can and to kind of expand on some of the discussions we've had tonight, release our preseason power rankings, and then be ready for the 28th at New York Chiropractic College. So, Korzy, hold on tight. Here we go, another winner of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com. We can't wait to bring it to you, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday, November 28th at the New York State Chiropractic College to kick it all off.
Good evening, everybody. Dave Barnick along with Jim Sinicropi.
Brendan Harrington along with Tony Robinson.
Matt Verkey. I'm Harold Weber, the dog, here at courtside.
Alongside Kevin Korzeniewski and Michael Alessio.
Nice facility to do basketball.
We're ready for basketball.
Hunter 1 against 1, and Hunter driving all the way down. Yes! John Drew, beautiful pass. Shot from the corner. Good!
Great step back by Tyler Collins and buries it. They have numbers straight to the hole.
And coming wide open on the out-of-bounds play is Jason.
Garage is holding north for three. Good!
Here comes Chance. Bounce pass. Turner. Lay it up in.
Yeah!
That's Ray way outside.
Count
Nothing
it.
but net.
Around the bed, 360 Gordon up the glass and good. Logan to the foul line, finds the Wolf down low.
Ross again right down Broadway. Count it.
Shot. Oh, nice play.
And a good evening from Newark.
Donald Knivesley Gymnasium in Geneva, New York.
Victor High School. Jack Guinan Gymnasium in Ovid, New York.
Welcome back to Bluefield High School. We're live back at the New York Chiropractic College here in Seneca Falls, New York.
Well, I just love these fans in Atwood Animals.
From Waterloo High School.
He's going to have a shot right for three.
Wow, made the shot, Dave. Damian Wright made the shot.
Right side comes off the slope for three. Hits it.
Oh, what is this all about? Stabs up young. No, gets it. Yes.
Number 44.
Drives in the middle, stopping, popping in the air, switch. Open it from the other side. Swish. Open three. Corner.
Right, Damian Wright does it again.
So we struggled off the start, and we didn't have a lot of confidence.
Who's a better shooter, you or Ashley Vanderwall?
She is.
We've really been playing well.
Outstanding program that you have going, Coach.
I play varsity with this group of kids since we were little.
I'd say we just want to keep improving and keep playing better and better.
Senior year, get it with my friends. It's awesome.
He's got numbers, pass under Stone. Unbelievable! And they find Fleischman for three. Buns! Devin Franklin behind the back, to the rim, up and under, lays it up and good. 3-pointer from Green, 2 in a row! Big drive, foul line jumper, good! 6 seconds left to go, drive to lane. A little runner, he's fouled, and the basket is good! Can you believe this kid, Corey?
They're going to remember Damon Hunter for the rest of their lives.
Congratulations to the Newark Reds.
Updated. Creek's out, Naples out, Lions still alive, East Rochester still alive, Gananda, Minders out.
Sectional titles and everything. If you come into our gym, you can look up, see all the titles.
Back to the Blue Cross. Got to get another one.
11 spins it, the big teddy bear, PA sends it into the second row. Wide open, Fleischman takes a three, hits it. He throws it away. Taylor Norris, right-handed layup is good. The post started by Williams, up in the foul and good. West post up for three. Buns! The Naples Big Green season comes to an end at 19-1. The North Rose Wolfpack Cougars represent the 3rd Wayne County team headed to the Blue Cross Arena.
Congratulations to the Lions. Lions headed back to the Blue Cross Arena.
And the clock expires. And you are looking live at the Big House, the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester, New York. Bounce pass to PA, the big teddy bear with his first basket of the game. Vincent on the block, up off the glass, gets it up ahead to Pendleton. Right-handed layup is good off the glass. Defender and lays it up and gets a roll. Big rebound by Garrett Hoyt. 30 feet from the basket. Now he drives, lays it up and good. Wellsville 52, North Rose Wolcott 36. Bermudez for three. Blocked by Carswell. Hunter skips into PA, lays it off the glass and good. Lions leads for the first time today. Reverse layup is good. Boskirk for three. Buttons. Barrow gives it to Hunter off the glass. He's fouled that makes the basket. The Lions are up 8. Carswell passes it to PA. Lays it up and good. The big teddy bear is the big Grizzly Bear tonight. And the Lions are your 2015 Section 5 Class C3 champions.
Great job by the guys. Number 17, one step closer to East High.
Finger Lakes